And that's when I realized that I am not built for manufacturing. Father का बहुत clear था, कुछ भी हो जाए मेरे दुकान पे नहीं चाहिए. Go figure out your shit. I am not going to put you up on my office. So that's how dad conceptualized Neocons, which is a combination of pneumatic air controller. धंधा करने के लिए जिगर चाहिए. क्या था? So I've seen the Mumbai life. It's a fast-paced life. People value time in Mumbai. गुजरात में they value peace. एक कस्टमर के साथ 1 लाख का काम नहीं करने का, 10 कस्टमर के साथ 10,000 का काम करने का. 3 डिफॉल्ट होंगे, तुम कभी रटकोगे नहीं, तुम्हारा कैश फ्लो चलता ही रहेगा. बेयरिंग्स इसलिए क्योंकि इंडिया में हर एक बेयरिंग पे 2 डुप्लीकेट बेयरिंग बिकता है. डिग्री की कोई वैल्यू नहीं है. आई एम अ मैकेनिकल इंजीनियर, आई एम द वर्स्ट आउट हायर. मेरे को भी पता है, मेरे को कोई 10,000 की जॉब नहीं देगा अगर मैं बोलूँ मेरे को मैकेनिकल इंजीनियर हूँ, मेरे को ऐसा जॉब दे दो. आई एम नॉट वर्दी ऑफ अ 10,000 रुपी जॉब. हमें धंधा है, गुजरात के पानी में धंधा है.
Hello, welcome to Vaat Chit podcast. I'm back after a long break. Today I'm sitting with Mr. Pritesh Lakhani, who's the co-founder of Neocons. Neocons is an industrial marketplace for all sort of engineering products. So welcome to the podcast, Pritesh. I'm very excited to host you and talk all things about Dhandha, building a Dhandha in Gujarat, out of Ahmedabad and building in this industrial space. But before I get into that, I want to talk to you about your life growing up. I know off camera when we were talking, you mentioned you spent like 40% of your time in Mumbai. So how was Mumbai for you?
Thank you for having me today. Mumbai must hai. Like local life, the train life, the food, the energy, the vibe. Everything is great about Mumbai. Just मैं बस नहीं पाया वहाँ पे. यार मुंबई में सब भाग रहे एंड रोज भाग रहे. तो आई वॉन्टेड सम थिंग वेरी मच लाइक शांति चाहिए थी थोड़ी बहुत. नॉट दैट आई एम अफ्रेड ऑफ वो लाइफ और एनीथिंग लाइक दैट. आई हैव सीन दैट, लिव दैट. आई फील देयर इज अ लॉट्स ऑफ मोर अपॉर्चुनिटीज टू बी आउट देयर इफ एक्सप्लोर्ड. मुंबई में सब एक दूसरे से लड़ रहे हैं या तो एक दूसरे से फाइट कर रहे हैं. So learning and taking the best out of Mumbai, I thought let's go out and see if I can apply those things outside and create something out of it. And yeah, it's been good till now.
How was like your education? And you studied, I think, between Bombay and Pune, right? So which colleges?
So I studied my schooling from Ahmedabad only.
Okay.
Went to Mumbai in 11th. There's junior college बोलते हो आप. I got an admission there as well, but मेरे को hostel नहीं मिला. तो I got scared and I came back to Ahmedabad. I was like नहीं, ये नहीं करना. But then fate has it. So 2 years after that, I again went to Pune, did my mechanical from there, did my first stint of job there, learned something from there, came back. Then I was in Silvassa, Reliance for some time, and then came back again to Ahmedabad. And now I'm in Ahmedabad for now.
When you came back, right, like what was that turning point in your life? You decided नहीं अब बस, what was that event that triggered कि नहीं अब मेरे को वापस अहमदाबाद जाना है, जॉब नहीं करनी है, I'm going back to Ahmedabad?
I don't know. Like now that if you ask me, I don't recall that. All I recalled was कि after the Reliance stint, I had this product in my mind कि मैं ये कर सकता हूँ. I want to manufacture this thing. And if I can grow this thing, scale this thing, I would earn decent amount of money. But जब वो मैं लेके आया अहमदाबाद, and when I started talking to people and started getting into it, I realized it's not that easy. It's not easy actually. ये बोलना कि मैं ये बना सकता हूँ, but वो बनाना और फिर बेचना, वो बीच का कोई समझाता नहीं है. वो बुक में दिखता है, एक्सेल में बन जाता है, बट वो होता नहीं है. सो वो टर्निंग पॉइंट था. तो वो जब मैं आया यहाँ पे, आई स्टार्टेड टॉकिंग टू लॉट्स ऑफ मैन्युफैक्चरर्स एंड आई अंडरस्टूड कि ये इस तरीके से नहीं बन सकता. ये इस तरीके से बन भी गया तो इसके बनाने की जो कॉस्ट है, जो मैंने अज्यूम किया था, वो मतलब नथिंग वर्किंग आउट. एंड वन थिंग लेड टू अनदर. आई गॉट अ जॉब as an internship to this small company that I was working for. They taught me in and out about everything related to manufacturing. So they gave me an opportunity saying कि काम कर, try it out, help me out as well with my projects and as well, and you get to learn in and out about how the manufacturing happens, right from sourcing the scrap to the end product. And after that, if you feel like that you are good at it, I will help you out building the product that you are looking for, and we'll see to it. So I did a stint for almost 2 years there, and that's when I realized that I am not built for manufacturing. एक अलग लेवल का आपको वो चाहिए mindset. There's a different level, there's a different breed of people who do manufacturing. It's not in everyone's cup of tea or anything. And I realized it in 2 years that I am not good at those things that needs to be a what a manufacturer, the mindset. I didn't had that mindset back then.
That was an engineering product that you wanted to manufacture?
Yes. Engineering product. It was related to a textile machines. Textile machines जो होते हैं उसमें एक product होता था. It was a very consumable part. तो वो होता है ना कि यार एक मशीन में हर महीने 100 पीस लगता है, इंडिया में टोटल 4000 मशीन लग रहे, तो अपन ने अगर 1% मार्केट भी क्रैक कर लिया तो यस मैं भी अपनी मर्सिडीज़ निकालूंगा 2 साल में. तो फुल जोश के साथ उतरे और तब पता चला कि नहीं बनता ऐसे, और ऐसे धंधा भी नहीं होता. So those 2 years, I was like traveling almost 100 kilometers a day on my scooter by going from one vendor to another to another to another. And I used to manage 10 vendors because that product that we were manufacturing, the project that I had, required 23 machining operations. And ये एक है कि आप अगर मैन्युफैक्चरिंग भी कर रहे हो ना तो आप हर चीज़ खुद इन हाउस नहीं कर सकते. दो इट्स अ मैन्युफैक्चरर्स ड्रीम और अ गोल टू मैन्युफैक्चर एवरीथिंग इन हाउस, बट इट्स नॉट पॉसिबल. So you have to have certain vendors around you who would do certain processes for the product and everything. So I learned everything in and out around those 2 years, and this is when it happened. जब वो पूरा बन गया जिस कंपनी के लिए हम कर रहे थे, तो वो कंपनी ने माल नहीं उठाया. So my first day, the company gets a 50 lakh of project, the highest the company has ever gotten, and I have been assigned to work on this project from ground to day one से, day zero से. And I have been working on this for almost now 1.5 years or something like that, and the company didn't picked up the material. And उस दिन का कैलकुलेशन ये था कि हमने अगर ये पूरा प्रोजेक्ट क्रैक कर लिया, we would make somewhere around between 15-20% out of it. Instead, we did a loss of 11 lakhs on that order. So ये पहला लर्निंग था कि बॉस तुम बना भी लोगे तो ऐसा ज़रूरी नहीं है कि कोई खरीद लेगा या किसी ने बोला है तो भी वो ले लेगा. दे कैन गो बैक टू देयर एंड यू कांट डू अ थिंग अबाउट इट.
वो इन्वेंट्री का क्या किया फिर?
आज के तारीख में भी पड़ा है, क्योंकि अगर उसको गलाने गए तो भी 1.5 लाख का अलग से खर्चा है. सो दैट्स आई थिंक समथिंग दैट वी सी इट एवरी डे. और मतलब नाउ तो आई हैव मूव्ड आउट, बट आई स्टिल गो विजिट हिम वंस अ मंथ एंड आई सी इट देयर एंड इट गिव्स दैट ये नहीं करना है लाइफ में. So that's when things started making sense for me. I got into castings and stuff because I used to get castings manufactured from Jamnagar, Rajkot, did all the machinings here, workshops and everything, and I got a hack around how the entire manufacturing works in Gujarat. So all those time I learned how to go about it and everything, and that's when I went into the trading thing. My father being a trader, so it's been going on in the family since I know. So I understand certain nuances, but his domain was different and I started something into different. Father का बहुत clear था, कुछ भी हो जाए मेरे दुकान पे नहीं चाहिए. Go figure out your shit. I am not going to put you up on my office. So we knew कि ये तो है नहीं, ये मैं कर नहीं सकता. So things started happening for me in that way. ये मेरे पास है नहीं, दिख रहा है फिर भी मैं इसमें कुछ नहीं कर सकता. ये मैंने कर लिया और मेरे को समझ में आ गया कि इसके लिए मैं नहीं बनाऊँ, तो आई हैव टू जस्ट कीप फिगरिंग इट आउट. That's when I started trading of castings and everything. One thing led to another, and yes, 3 years into it and I was trading a lot. And वो पूरे trading जर्नी में the only thing was कि यार कोई पैसा नहीं देता टाइम पे. चलो वो भी ठीक है, like you know you are working with so many things, there are so many factors that could affect anyone out of it, and it's part and parcel of the life. But the जवाब जो आता है ना कि आगे से नहीं आया पेमेंट इसलिए आपको नहीं कर पाया, so it used to bug me a lot. It was like मैंने आपसे धंधा किया, you tell me आज नहीं होगा, probably 30 दिन के बाद होगा या X days के बाद होगा, I am ready to sit with you because I understand you are also having certain issues, whatever it may be. But you giving me this answer कि आगे से नहीं आया इसलिए मैं आपका नहीं कर रहा हूँ, तो it creates this perspective ना कि अगर उसने नहीं दिया तो मेरा आने ही नहीं वाला क्या. Right. And you didn't ask me before कि यार वो आगे, this was not the agreed terms, right? बट दिस हैज़ बिकम अ नॉर्म ऑफ द इंडस्ट्री राइट नाउ. हर एक अगर आप व्यापारी से पूछोगे या बिजनेसमैन से पूछोगे ना, उसका यही प्रॉब्लम है, आगे से नहीं आया इसलिए मैं आज पेमेंट नहीं कर पा रहा. एंड दिस इज स्टिल गोइंग ऑन. Obviously, post-COVID, things have turned around a lot, but this still persist. So this was one of the factors also motivating of what we are into right now. Because उस दरमियान भी मैंने पैसे रखे मार्केट में. आज के तारीख में मेरे को बहुत लोगों से पैसे लेने बनते हैं. एंड आई एम नॉट द ओनली वन. मतलब आप ऐसे आवाज़ लगाओगे मुंबई में तो हर दूसरे आदमी का है, या शायद हर एक का है किसी ना किसी का. एंड दिस इज अक्रॉस इंडिया, और प्रोबेबली आई डोंट नो आउटसाइड इंडिया, बट दिस इज अक्रॉस इंडिया. हर किसी का ये है ही है, हर एक लोग इसमें अटके ही हुए हैं. सो दिस वॉज द थिंग कि यार ये हो रहा है, ये ऐसे हो रहा है. एंड इट गेव अस लॉट्स ऑफ कॉन्फिडेंस इन मी कि बॉस अगर मैं ये बेच सकता हूँ तो मैं ये भी बेच सकता हूँ. अब मेरे को ये पता है कि मेरे को बेचना कैसे. सो दैट्स हाउ ट्रेडिंग गिव मी दैट कम्फर्ट कि यार ठीक है, एटलीस्ट आई नो कि मैं बेच सकता हूँ. चलो बनाने में प्रॉब्लम है, बट मेरे को बेचने में प्रॉब्लम नहीं है. बट टॉकिंग विद दोस्त जो बना रहे हैं, तो वहाँ पे भी थोड़ा सीखने को मिलता है, समझने को मिलता है. एंड जब इन लोगों के साथ आप बैठते हो, इन लोगों के प्रॉब्लम समझते हो, तो बहुत अपॉर्चुनिटीज है यहाँ पे. एंड कोई सुन नहीं रहा इन लोगों की.
So आपने मेंशन किया डैड वाज इनटू अ सिमिलर बिजनेस. नाउ व्हाट यू आर डूइंग विद न्यूकॉन्स, आई विल कम टू दैट. बट आपके डैड की जर्नी बताइए ना मुझे, कैसे स्टार्ट हुआ अहमदाबाद में, उन्होंने बिजनेस कैसे सेटअप किया था?
डैड इज born brought up educated in Mumbai, MSc फिजिक्स फ्रॉम भवंस. फैमिली बिजनेस कपड़ों का था, चनिया चोली, साड़ीज एंड वॉट नॉट. एंड इन फैमिली माई बड़े पापा एंड डैड, वो दो को ही अपॉर्चुनिटी मिली इंग्लिश में पढ़ने की. Being that time to get study in English medium was also costly, and grandfather couldn't afford it. All the children, these two guys got the opportunity. He didn't wanted to sell chaniya cholis, or he didn't wanted to do that, and he wanted to try something else because he had seen the other side of the table, how it works and everything. So he shifted back to Ahmedabad in tandem with my bade papa. They both decided he will do the work from there, he will do the work from here, and they'll try to build something out of this. So they started trading engineering products, textile industry से related supplies करते थे. And तब डैड फिगर्ड आउट समथिंग इन अहमदाबाद के एक मैन्युफैक्चरर है जो ये बना रहा है, बट किसी को पता ही नहीं है कि यार ये बेच कैसे सकते हैं. एंड सो ही गॉट इनटू इट. एंड उस वक्त किसी को पता नहीं था कि इन प्रोडक्ट्स को न्यूमैटिक प्रोडक्ट्स बोला जाता है.
राइट.
सो दैट्स हाउ डैड conceptualized Neocons, which is a combination of pneumatic air controller, and he started this thing in 82, being a trader and everything. And for some reasons, Bade Papa moved out of the business, and Dad still continued here building and everything, and he built from scratch. So today, if I have to say, I can say this boldly that Ahmedabad mein pneumatics industries started was by my father. He still runs his own shop. He's still an active trader. Kalupur mein he is still a well-known guy. And we have been seeing in our family as well. So उनकी struggle वो रोटी और कपड़े की थी. He didn't had the money then as well. So he had fight for the food, he had fight for the family and everything, and he built it from the ground up. So the street level knowledge, मुंबई का पानी and अहमदाबाद में मेहनत, and it built up. He built a great business, he built a great reputation around, and he has some values that we are not allowed to break. Even though we do what business or whatever it may be, we are not allowed, because that makes a lot sense now. Obviously it didn't when we used to very aggressively go out in the market and want to make money and name for ourselves, but now it makes a lot more sense.
What values would that be?
So there are certain things, बस धंधा करने के लिए जिगर चाहिए. एंड योर जो जबान की वैल्यू है, अगर इफ यू हैव कमिटेड इट देन यू हैव कमिटेड इट, यू हैव टू ऑनर इट. इवन दो यू मेक अ लॉस इन दैट और इवन यू मेक अ प्रॉफिट इन दैट, यू कैन नॉट डू दैट. यू हैव टू ऑनर इट. Certain thing is, never change your vendors whom you buy from. If your vendors keep on changing month on month or year on year, you will never progress. You can change your customers, but never change your vendors whom you buy from. अगर आपके वेंडर्स चेंज हो रहे हैं, मतलब यू हैव अ फंडामेंटल प्रॉब्लम. They are not working with you. It's not that you are not working with them.
You can't maintain that relationship.
You can't maintain that relationship. Back in his time, relationships matter a lot. Now, it's all transactional. The generation has changed, the dynamics have changed. So he valued relationship over the money, and the money was the byproduct of it.
Yeah.
So he was very clear on those parts. We also still believe in this thing, but it's unfortunate that very less people around this actually believes this. So if
Yeah.
someone wants to build a relationship with us, we are open for it. But most of it's now is just transactional.
Right.
So वो हमें समझ में आता है. There are certain things कि बस if you have committed it कि बस मैं अगर ये पेमेंट कर रहा हूँ इस दिन में, तो उससे एक दिन पहले होना चाहिए, उसके एक दिन बाद नहीं होना चाहिए. So you need to honor your word, whatever it may be. So these are the certain nuances, small but.
Why do you think the newer generation जो business में आ रही है ना, वो लोग नहीं value कर रहे हैं? I'm sure there must be people who are doing it, but do you think it's because rapidly scale करना है उनको business versus parents का generation who are okay with a steady growth versus now जहाँ पे venture capital available है for traditional businesses also to become digitized? Or what could be the reasons you think this newer generation is not sticking to those values that their parents set?
I think उस वक्त सोशल मीडिया नहीं था. So I remember जब गूगल आया एंड जब मेल्स पे शुरू हुआ, so my dad trades with all of. So मेरे डैड के अभी मतलब since when he started dealing with his customers, they were small manufacturers. Right now 80% of them are listed companies.
Wow.
So dad has grown with them, along with them. So he understands the nuances of how the relationship works, how the transactions work. But current generation doesn't get it. It's all transactional for them. Now it has to be balanced. No, if the people on both the sides are transactional, then it's good. But if one values relationship and one values transactional, or vice versa,
नहीं
then
होता है.
it's going to have some friction. So this is where the problem is.
I think very important point you mentioned about अगर आपका vendor change हो रहा है बहुत बार तो दिक्कत है मतलब कोई तो.
There's a fundamental problem
Yeah.
with the business. You need to identify that. So we understand that. We get that. And जब हम trading करते थे, so we used to buy from limited people only because we don't change our suppliers as well. Quality change हो जाता था, friction आता था, supply change में, service में. So he has this thing. Product बेचना कोई भी बेच सकता है. उसे जो बेचना है, मतलब उसे जो खरीदना है वो तुम बेच सकते हो, बट उसे और क्या चाहिए जो उसे पता ही नहीं, अगर तुम वो बेच दो, you will never lose out a customer.
Right.
I struggled a lot with that.
Yeah.
But my brother Darshit, he get that. So they had lots of frictions among them because he used to work with dad for almost 3 years. He sat with dad for 3 years. He worked with it and he used to handle all the operations with the dad and everything. And he has been groomed under dad on that part. While he was doing his wildlife photography and other stuff. So he would just spend 2-3 hours in the office and he was just chill around with his friends. He would call his friends. My dad would engage and just have chill with his friends. And dal vada party hoti office mein and those things. And it's a ritual, like weekly ritual and everything. And dad would like to understand kya chal raha hai in logon ke bare mein. How they think, how they approach. And he was very acceptable about this thing. So जब वो Google आया ना, मेल्स आया, तो उनको सबसे ज़्यादा प्रॉब्लम हुआ because now those companies who have moved out and who have grown out, they started sending emails, then they started implementing their processes, and here this my dad is a one man show. So he started accepting this कि okay ये होने वाला है, ये ऐसे ही होने वाला है. So most of his relationships still there, but the departments that's then how they started branching out, it all become transactional. So he also understand this thing.
Interesting. So while growing up, like how was your experience going to your dad's shop in Kalupur and what did you learn there that's helping you now?
हम ट्रेडिंग हमारा खुद का करते थे, but he used to give us a space in his office for which we also had to pay rent and everything. It was not free. And चाय अच्छी मिलती थी वहाँ पे. And since walk-in customer आता था ना, तो वो डैड का कस्टमर नहीं सबका हो जाता था. So walk-in customer आया तो he is looking for a product, but I can upsell my, मैं ये भी कर रहा हूँ, ये कर सकते हो, ये भी कर रहे हैं. So it was an opportunity for everyone. So it was a win-win for everyone. सब होता क्या था? So I've seen the Mumbai life. It's a fast-paced life. There's people value time in Mumbai. Gujarat में they value peace. They value shanti. They value that chill life. So Kalupur market, I remember, would never open before 11:30. All the industries around the Kalupur market, because they had to come to Kalupur only to source the material. Also know कि कालूपुर 11 बजे से पहले नहीं बेचना लड़के को, कुछ नहीं मिलने वाला. So first thing I did was I started going at 8:30. I was like, ठीक है ना, मैं 8:30 से 11 बजे तक मेरा तो कर सकता हूँ ना. And 3 days into it, and customers started coming in. So now रिटेल का मेरा काउंटर सुबह 8:30 से 11 में पूरे दिन का हो जाता था. एंड आई वॉज अक्वायरिंग मोर कस्टमर्स फ्रॉम द मार्केट. तो अगर उसके दुकान में उसको चाहिए, वो भी मेरे पास से उसको मिल जाता था. And dad saw that I was making mistakes into it because, see, his products, I don't have enough information.
Yeah.
So if a walk-in customer comes, my first call goes to dad, ये क्या है, इसको ये चाहिए, इसको ये चाहिए. And he realized कि यार ये रोज हो रहा है. He was also mapping कि एक बार हो रहा है, 2 बार हो रहा है, क्या है. So a month into it, and he realized कि ये गलत है, ये धंधा जा रहा है यहाँ पे, और he is not the right guy. He don't have enough knowledge, so ये नहीं कर पा रहा. So he started going at 9 now. So my shop opens at 9. By 9:30 he has always made his first transaction, even though the cleaning and all is happening, but 9:30 he has made his first transaction, and now the entire market opens at 9:30.
Wow.
So this is a shift that has happened in last 6-7 years. A market that used to open at 11:30 now opens at 9. This is what we saw कि यार काम बहुत है. If you just have the right mindsets, or if you just have the right basics approach, तो यार शांति से बहुत बनाया जा सकता है business.
This was your formative year for Neocons, what you are doing now, all these experiences. In hindsight, if you look at it, it got you here.
So lots of things have happened during this thing. So there's a journey that Darshit brought into it. So see, I am good at certain skills. Darshit is good at certain skills.
What are you good at?
I can see I'm good at research. I am good at finding opportunity. Darshit is good at scaling that opportunity. He can handle operations. So Darshit, post his college, during his college days, he was actively photographing and he was doing wildlife photography. And he was learning from the best. And he just graduated and he got a job in Indigo Airlines. So he worked for 2 years there, almost 2 years. During that, I think he still holds the record of youngest DGCA approved screener. And he started getting into the customer side, the operations and everything. Along with that, he also had a 3-year experience of working with dad to understand the retail customer psychology and everything. You have a customer on Indigo. So I'll share you this one incident. He was on the counter that day. Customer comes in and says he want a ticket to some location. Darshit says today's fare is around 36,000, something like that. And the gate was supposed to close in 15 minutes. Customer handed him coins and they had to count it. समझो कुछ 20,000 रुपए के उसने 1-1 रुपए के सिक्के दिए. अब गिनो तुम बैठ के. So that day the flight got late. Darshit and everyone in that team was rammed up because they had to justify why the flight got delayed. And this customer was not wrong. तुमने पैसे मांगे, मैंने दिए, तुम्हारा प्रॉब्लम है, गिनना है नहीं गिनना. And they didn't had the means to count those rupees. मतलब चिल्लर कैसे काउंट करोगे तुम? So these sorts of experience happens there. So he understands the immediate need and the assistance, and he also understands the customer psychology that comes in the retail. अगर आप retail दुकान लेके बैठे हो या एक shop लेके बैठे हो, you would get variety of customers. एकदम इमरजेंसी लेके आएगा, सर एकदम इमरजेंट है, मशीन बंद पड़ा है, ये है वो है, ठीक है, 1,000 रुपये दो, अरे नहीं सर ये तो 600 में मिल रहा था, ठीक है सर कल ले आना, मैं कल ले लूँगा. See the shift from emergency 1,000 to 600 में, सर कल ले लो, मशीन बंद पड़ेगा, चल जाएगा. So he understands this nuances very much. He and my father were working for almost 3 years. So after Indigo, he was with my dad as well, doing his photography and everything. And I was still trying to build my castings and tradings thing and everything. And we all used to sit in the office. And we used to have frictions every day. Because my dad has his way of selling things. Yeah. I want to try to prove him, see, I can sell more, I can sell better.
Yeah.
So there's a competition in it. And it was not fruitful and it was not helping anyone out. So my boss from Reliance, I'm very close to. He is a mentor to me. So we were having this conversation and he was also in that office, that day in the office, and was like, he suggested, एक काम कर, ये कर, इनको अलग कर दे. He had a separate conversation with my father. He had a independent conversation with me, and he had an independent conversation with Darshit. And he saw actually what has happened here and what is happening and where it is going. Yeah. He had that thing. So that's when I asked Darshit to come. चल शुरू करते कुछ अलग साथ में करते हैं. And I brought in Darshit. The first thing he did was he took the sales from me, and my revenue went from 16 lakhs in a year to 1.25 crores in a year.
Wow.
So this was the things that he brings to table, and I realized, okay, I need to trust his skills and I need to take a step back and figure out the other stuff and just hand over them. So this is how it all started. While we started scaling the trading business that we and Darshit started, we still had the same problems, still had the same challenges. And that's when in 2019 we realized and we sat with dad. It was like, एक बात बताओ, ऐसा तो है नहीं कि आज हमारा पेमेंट नहीं आ रहा, और ऐसा तो कोई प्रॉब्लम नहीं है कि जो हम आज कर रहे फेस वो आपने किया नहीं है. आपने हमसे ज़्यादा दिवाली देखी है. ऑल्सो यू हैव सीन द टाइम्स जब फ़ोन नहीं था, emails नहीं थे, fax was the latest gadget that he had in his office and stuff like that. How did you solve it? उस वक्त तो STD में PCO पे लाइन पे लेना पड़ता था खड़े रह के, and if you want a line in your office then there's a different set of headaches and stuff. How did you get your payments back? And so we had a very simple philosophy. This is like एक कस्टमर के साथ 1 लाख का काम नहीं करने का, 10 कस्टमर के साथ 10,000 का काम करने का. 3 डिफॉल्ट होंगे, तुम कभी रटकोगे नहीं, तुम्हारा कैश फ्लो चलता ही रहेगा. इट्स नॉट दैट वी डोंट न्यू. ऐसा नहीं है कि आपको पता नहीं होता, ये सब पता होता है, बेसिक होता है, बट unless and until you don't go through it,
Right.
you don't know it.
Right.
You know it, but you don't know it. That was the thing. So that's what triggered, and from there onwards, I started doing research. I started building stuff around this thing, and came up with this idea कि चलो एक काम करते हैं, let's build a platform around this thing. I had a more tech का मेरे को है, I get into it, I understand it better. Not that I know everything, but I understand it better, and I am open to experiments, learning new stuff and everything. And I had the bandwidth as well because he was still looking on the other part, so I had the bandwidth. So I went into research mode. We come up with a agreeable thing. कि चलो, we both are convinced on this thing. We started doing beta testing, and we came up with this platform. हम लोगों ने safe खेलने की कोशिश की. Where we said कि चलो एक काम करते हैं, 3 कैटेगरी से काम करते हैं. Let's start with fire safety, let's start with pneumatics, and let's start with bearings. So pneumatics इसलिए क्योंकि होम टर्फ है, तो अगर कुछ भी हुआ तो we have that to fall back upon, and even with his support also we can get something out of it. Bearings इसलिए क्योंकि इंडिया में हर एक बेयरिंग पे 2 डुप्लीकेट बेयरिंग बिकता है. So like जितना लर्निंग्स आएगा ना उधर से आएगा. And fire safety इसलिए because the whole platform concept was to generate cash transactions, prepaid transactions. So fire safety is a field which is directly relevant to real estate, and the payment structures there are is like 200 days, 250 days. It's like that crazy payment cycles, and people are not getting paid on time, and there's insane margins and everything. So we do this. First thing we did was we will not tap in the existing network of what dad has built or anything. We'll just go out and build a new network around this thing. क्योंकि फिर सही नहीं बनेगा वो. We'll just get lost in onto this thing. So we started doing this thing, and we received insane amount of response from fire safety. We had not even expected कि हमें इतना response मिलेगा. Our benchmark or our standards were कि we would expect somewhere between 60-70% of the business from pneumatics. Around 20 to 30% we were expecting के bearings से मिलेगा, but सीखने को बहुत मिलेगा. बनेगा भी नहीं, but सीखने को बहुत मिलेगा. And the balance was the fire safety. To our surprise, 90% came from fire safety. And we were like, boss, we have hit on a nerve. We have hit something, and now we just should deep dive in that only. So that's how the platform came in. Till date, we have not onboarded my father or his products. He doesn't get it. He doesn't like it. Not that what we do or anything, but बहुत टेक हो जाता है उनके लिए. And it's like, ये इतना मेरे से नहीं होगा. He do help us out in support of technical assistance if we need with respect to an inquiry or a lead or a deal or anything like that.
For capital support?
नहीं. पैसा तो कभी था ही नहीं. So whatever money that we had made in our earlier business and trading and everything, वो सब हमने इसमें लगा दिया. So हमें पैसा तो हमने कभी मिला ही नहीं.
कितना पैसा लगाया इसमें?
बहुत लगा है. बहुत लगा, मतलब बस घर नहीं बचा है, घर छोड़ के सब. What we got was the support from the industrialists, the doors that got, and that's when we learned was कि यार help is always available if you are worth of it. You just have to ask and show that you are worthy. So my boss from Lance, he helped us out with respect to the how it should build. What are you solving? Why are you solving? He helped us out with why, what. Then came in a gentleman named Jayesh Rambia. So he's currently the chairman of All India Plastic Manufacturers Association, IPMA. We got connected somehow and he saw what we were building and he understood it in 30 minutes because that's what the time I was given. And it shook his mind, okay. And his question was, why is no one else doing? तुम क्यों कर रहे हो? And why is no one else is doing? मैं बोला सर मैं इसलिए कर रहा हूँ क्योंकि मेरे पैसे अटके और अब मेरे को वो देखना नहीं है. सो मैं इस पर्पज से घुसा हूँ. एंड जब मैंने ये पर्पज दूसरे वेंडर्स और एसएमईज और एमएसएमईज के साथ शेयर किया, दे फेल्ट रिलेटेबल. कोई क्यों नहीं कर रहा? आई डोंट हैव एन आंसर टू इट राइट नाउ बिकॉज वी नेवर थॉट कि यार ये क्यों नहीं कर रहा है, इसने क्यों नहीं किया. इट वॉज नेवर अ पार्ट ऑफ अवर. I also accept what he has said and I also believe this thing. ऐसा कोई आइडिया नहीं है जो किसी ने कहीं पे इम्प्लीमेंट करके बनाया नहीं है. Whatever you are doing right now, someone has done it. Either he has gained success in it, or either he has gotten failure, or whatever it may be. Very rare cases happens that something unique has come out, and we know हम वो नहीं है. So that conversation did send me back again on more on the research stuff and everything, and I figured out, I saw what is happening, why is it happening, and turns out that it all fell in place. Not that we intentionally went this way and they intentionally went that way, or they are doing this or not. It just organically happened and fell in place. And we realized कि okay, चलो ये कोई इसलिए नहीं कर रहा, there's a reason to this, and because इनको ये उनकी प्रायोरिटी अलग है, हमारी प्रायोरिटी अलग है, we are looking at a different focus group, our target audience is different and everything. So it got us more clarity as well. And with that clarity it gave us more motivation कि बॉस मेरा मार्केट बहुत बड़ा है. मेरे प्रॉब्लम सिर्फ अहमदाबाद के दुकानदारों के साथ नहीं है, मेरे प्रॉब्लम्स एरिजोना और यूएसए और हर कंट्री के उस वेंडर्स के साथ है, क्योंकि मेरे प्लेटफॉर्म पे वो लोग एक्सपोर्ट कर रहे हैं. So that's when the doors started opening for us. That's when these people started recommending. That's when people started talking about us. So lots of people like him came on our journey. They helped us out with the right information. They helped us out with the right knowledge of what not to do and how to go about it, because this is how it is being expected, or these are the real problems.
Right.
Can your platform or can your solution is workable for them? So the Jayesh sir came. He gave us an opportunity and we got into Plast India. So now Plast India is, I think, India's largest expo. Happens roughly around 5 years. It is being participated by around 20-30 countries. So 2 years back, we were in Plast India exhibiting. It was a last moment thing. मतलब exhibition के 10 दिन पहले तो opportunity मिली. And we got to know कि उसमें 10-10 साल का waiting होता है. And we got lucky and stuff happened. सो हमारा स्टॉल बाथरूम के बाहर है. एक प्रोडक्ट एग्जीबिशन में हम सर्विस लेके बैठे हैं जहाँ पे 20 कंट्री से ज़्यादा के लोग आने वाले, एंड द फुटफॉल वाज एवरी डे मोर देन 1 लाख पीपल. मतलब 5 दिन का वो एग्जीबिशन, फर्स्ट डे पे सुप्रीम कोर्ट का जज ट्रैफिक में हियरिंग के लिए लेट हो गया. The amount of traffic, it was outside the exhibition as well. And it's a paid gig, it's not a free entry. So people are paying money at the entrance to get into the exhibition. And we didn't know the potential of what we were going into it. हमारा thought process was like कि हम 2000 लोगों का विजिटिंग कार्ड एंड ब्रोशर्स एंड मार्केटिंग मटेरियल लेके जाएंगे. अगर 5 दिन में हमारे स्टॉल पे 2000 लोग भी आए, that means we are on a right track. उस 5 दिन में by first day,
Interesting.
so that opened up us saying के बॉस एक डर होता है, आप कुछ भी चालू करते हो ना यार, चलेगा कि नहीं चलेगा, कोई लेगा कि नहीं लेगा, यार क्यों लेगा. मतलब आई एम सेलिंग अ प्लेटफॉर्म जहाँ पे आपने ये कैमरा रखा हुआ है तो सोनी भी तो बेच ही सकता है ना, तो वो न्यूकॉन से क्यों बेचेगा.
Right.
अगर सोनी को कुछ बेचना है तो डायरेक्ट कस्टमर को बेच ही रहा है, इट्स ऑलरेडी मार्केट भी है, तो न्यूकॉन्स के थ्रू क्यों खरीदेगा? We have people come up from tier 4, tier 3 cities on our stalls and saying कि बस तुम किधर हो? We don't get the sort of products that we want, we don't get the sort of services that we want, and so that changed us everything. And we came back, and one more guy came in our life, Push Agarwal, very active on Twitter.
Yeah.
So we got on his radar, and he's a tech guy, and he knows, he has insane amount of knowledge, he has insane amount of thing. He got to know about us, and he is like, तुम बोल रहे हो तुम एक प्लेटफॉर्म हो, तुम एक मार्केट प्लेस हो, तुम्हारी डिजिटल प्रेजेंस ही नहीं है, तुम धंधा कैसे कर रहे हो? How would I even believe what you are saying? So we shared some data, we opened up our workflows and everything, and he was blown away. It was like, तुम लोगों को कोई देख भी नहीं रहा, तुम लोगों को कोई सर्च नहीं कर रहा, और तुम लोगों ने वर्ड ऑफ माउथ से इतने छोटे क्लस्टर से अगर तुम ये कर रहे हो. So he became a huge cheerleader for us. He started showing us how to go about it. He started showing us the processes. You know the process कि एक inquiry आई, तुमने एक vendor से पूछा, तुमने कर दिया, but it has to be done in a way that even you are not there, but the things are happening around. So he started building those processes around us, explained us how it can be done, what it can be not be done, and things started moving for us. Things started changing us. It started opening more and more doors and everything. And during that time, we realized that we need to raise funds, because that was, I think, the premature thing that we did, that we didn't raise funds first.
Everything fell into place.
Everything fell into places.
Interesting. So I know you recently did your fundraise, right? How was that fundraising experience? Matlab, I'm sure your first time. And
it's worst. It's pathetic. It's draining. It's very difficult.
How long was the entire process? How many months?
It started with May 2023. See, this is my experience and this is my opinion. We realized कि हमें funds raise करने, so we started talking. So no one believes कि यार एक cash का धंधा बन सकता है. So you said this thing कि boss, now it's very easy to raise money for traditional businesses. Actually not. See, traditional businesses grows at a scale of 20%, 30% or around that. And VCs wants to invest in the money where they want insane amount of returns. मतलब 20%, 30% तो लोग market से बना लेते, तो फिर मैं तुम्हें पैसे क्यों डालूं? They are not wrong. So it's still not accessible. It's not easily accessible. I think I have returned to almost more than 250 plus emails, which I have not got heard back. Of those 250 emails, I have got only 27 or 28 face calls. From those 27, 28 face calls, nothing panned out. But one thing changed. One call changed everything for us. That was Dhruv Sane from Malpani Ventures. We got an email from him, pitched to me. He figured out from somewhere something, and he approached us. And this happened in May. So we started talking to him. While talking to him, we realized that raising funds is all about selling a narrative or selling a story. We
show them the bigger picture, probably.
Yeah, so that was the thing. Dhruv sir के साथ हमारे calls होते हैं 2-2, 2.5 घंटे के. The analyst is reviewing us for 2 to 3 hours weekly. Single calls. He evaluated us till almost ये चला दिवाली तक वो साल. And I was this close to get a term sheet from them. It was like हो गया, because उनके साथ बात करके हमें ये भी समझ में आया कि बॉस, ओके, वी नीड टू कम आउट ऑफ दिस माइंडसेट दैट नाउ दैट वी आर गेटिंग इनटू दिस थिंग, वी नीड टू सी इट इन दिस लेंस, वी नीड टू सी इट इन दिस लेंस एंड दिस वे. वहाँ से पता चला कि ये ऐसे होता है एंड एवरीथिंग. द ओनली एनालिस्ट, not the only, but one of the few analysts that we came across who actually did his work and brought the best out of us. We didn't got the term sheet and anything, but he became a good design.
Why did you not get the term sheet? Like, what went wrong?
Malpani sir's vision or his thesis is to invest in the frugal business, which requires less capital but has the potential to grow bigger. And their conviction is that the journey that we are on to it, we made a good friend with Dhruv Bhai and everyone. So there. So Dhruv Bhai designed our deck. He gave me an intro mail and is like, start with this way. And this is November 2023.
Three.
So after that, I started getting replies. December came and कुश भाई was like यार ट्विटर चालू करते देखते क्या होता है talk to them the amount of exposure that you have the knowledge you have share those things and see how it goes it's like ठीक है सर वैसे भी यहाँ से तो December I applied for that Twitter blue वो आ गया January 4th is when we started writing on Twitter and things turned crazily
Yeah.
जिन sellers को हम onboard करने जाते हैं so I used to me and Darshit onboarded all the first sellers on the platform in person so जिनको हम onboard करने जाते हैं like तुम्हारा subscription का पैसा क्यों दे इंडिया मार्ट फ्री में दे रहा है जस्ट डायल फ्री में दे रहा है why do you even charge upfront why would you even pay you upfront so our conversion time was very very high it was like more than 90 days to get one subscription from a seller after insane amount of follow-ups and whatnot.
I agree. Twitter, I think, if you use it in the right way, it can be a game changer. Like the opportunities मेरे लिए भी जो unlock हुई है personally, professionally, it has been insane. Like you just have to use it right.
So मेरे को तो वो भी नहीं समझ में आता है still I'm figuring it out. मेरे दिमाग में जो आता है मैं लिख देता हूँ.
Be yourself. Like,
I am just being myself. Whatever I'm going through, is it a good day? Is it a bad day?
Yeah.
Did I win something today or did I lose something big today?
I like reading about how small things you आज मैंने SEO में ये किया आज मेरा hiring में ये challenge आ रहा है तो I want to so that brings me to so see I see Gujarat as two extremes okay and ये मेरा limited understanding हो सकता है but it's either एकदम धंधा mindset people you know building a real business or it's government job like I in my limited experience इतना private sector I haven't seen you know people make.
So one of the side effects or one of the shortfalls of धंधा is see you raise your kids and saying end of the day तो धंधा ही करना है ना 2 साल सीख ले किसी के यहाँ से so all the people who come to us or anyone else would want to learn and start another shop
Right.
so that's a challenge in itself as well good thing as well and as a bad thing as well because you are creating your own competition by teaching someone else
Right.
सो यहाँ पे होता क्या है कि मेरे को भी पता है कि आज ये मेरे से सीखने आने आया है और ये 2 साल बाद उसी की दुकान चालू करने वाला है मेरी बाजू में ही बैठ के तो फिर मैं क्यों सिखाऊं इसे सो इट क्रिएट्स इट्स ओन फ्रिक्शन तो खुद का प्रॉब्लम खुद ही बना लिया है एंड सो व्हेन आई वाज वर्किंग इन पुणे माय फर्स्ट बॉस ही यूज्ड टू से दिस थिंग मेरे नसीब का तू नहीं खा के जाने वाला तेरे नसीब का मैं नहीं खा के जाने वाला तू मेहनत कर मैं मेहनत करूंगा तेरे नसीब में जो लिखा है तेरे को मिलने वाला है बट द ओनली थिंग कांस्टेंट इज मेहनत हार्ड वर्क सो दैट स्टक विथ मी सो इट नेवर अकर्ड कि यार मैं इसको सिखाऊंगा तो ये मेरा धंधा लेके जाएगा तू आगे बढ़ रहा है आई एम हैप्पी फॉर यू आई डोंट वांट एनी क्रेडिट फॉर इट और एनीथिंग लाइक दैट आई विल डू माय ओन थिंग ही विल बी हिज ओन थिंग बढ़ो आगे सो पीपल डोंट अंडरस्टैंड इट so again coming back to that hiring challenge when I wrote that I got trolled a lot for that दिस इज द रियल थिंग पीपल एक्सपेक्ट के यार मैंने एक डिग्री ले ली है तो मेरे को तो 30,000 का सैलरी या 50,000 का सैलरी मिलना चाहिए क्यों मेरे को मुंबई का रेंट लग रहा है अहमदाबाद का रेंट लग रहा है मेरा इलेक्ट्रिसिटी लग रहा है ये लग रहा है अरे भाई 50,000 की सैलरी क्यों दे काम क्या कर सकते हो आप वो तो बताओ सैलरी लाख रुपए को देने को रेडी हो काम क्या कर सकते हो आप वो तो बताओ पहले वो तो आप सिखाओगे ना जस्ट बिकॉज यू गॉट स्कैम्ड बाय समवन and you paid a hefty fee in college and you didn't learn anything it's not my job to make you learn and if that is my job then I will decide how much I want to pay you cannot come and expect or you cannot command कि मेरे को ये तो मिलना चाहिए क्योंकि मेरे पास डिग्री है डिग्री की कोई वैल्यू नहीं है आई एम अ मैकेनिकल इंजीनियर आई एम द वर्स्ट आउटलायर मेरे को भी पता है मेरे को कोई 10,000 की जॉब नहीं देगा अगर मैं बोलूँ मेरे को मैकेनिकल इंजीनियर हूँ मेरे को जॉब दे दो आई एम नॉट वर्दी ऑफ 10,000 रुपी जॉब कोई वैल्यू नहीं है स्किल्स की वैल्यू है यू नो the first people we shifted last year in December to this new office because we realized कि अभी industry से बाहर आके we need to target the commercial people and everything so we shifted to this new office the first hire we made is a kid who travels 30 kilometers every day
I think you are also at that point in your business probably आपके पास वो time ही नहीं है coach करने का.
No,
that-
हमारे
put
पास
that-
always है. So this is also something that I learned in
But at
Reliance.
scale,
It's never a point. See, if you have the hunger to learn,
तो कोई-
all we need to do is just show you the direction, and we have that. I'm ready to challenge. I'm ready to take a bet on you. I'm ready to teach you because I know that this is going to help you, which is going to help me. हमारा कभी वो थॉट प्रोसेस रहा ही नहीं कि यार ये मेरे बाजू में उठ के बाजू में बना देगा. अरे बना भाई, तू आएगा तो हम दोनों बोलेंगे देख हम दोनों कम्पीट कर रहे हैं, मेरी वैल्यू बढ़ने वाली. इन द प्रीवियस ऑफिस दैट वी वर देयर, सो इट वाज इन एन इंडस्ट्रियल एरिया. वहां से नजदीक होता था बावला. इट्स अ विलेज, गांव बोलते हैं यहाँ पे. वहां से हमारे यहाँ पे 4 लड़कियां आती थी who has not even done a job and their whole purpose is कि सर हमें काम दो वरना हमारी शादी करवा देंगे. And we taught them everything. And the first prototype of the Newcons.com was built amongst them.
Wow.
They did that. हमें भी कुछ नहीं आता था, हम पे भी किसी ने हाथ पकड़ा हमारा और सिखाया था.
Yeah.
So मेरे को पता है बस अगर कोई हाथ पकड़ के सिखा रहा है ना तो उसकी वैल्यू क्या है.
Right.
जी, अगर आज हम ट्विटर की बात कर रहे हैं तो गणेश भाई फ्रीडो वाले, अक्षय भाई, these guys are helping me out by passing the knowledge because they see that I am worth it. I am putting in the hard work that needs to be done.
Right. भरोसा करने वाला चाहिए. Like, you know, that way, like, my personal experience also has been when I was going from tech to marketing. 2 साल I worked in an agency and then I was moving to a startup. So my boss now, Praveen sir, he took a bet on me and I'm so grateful. Like, otherwise you are starting a new company. Why would you take someone with, you know, X years of experience?
You know, everyone is ready to take a chance. All you need to do and just tell them that I'm ready to take this accountability.
Right.
People are not doing that. People are commanding that I want this money, I want this, and then you teach me.
Right.
No one is coming and saying, sir, I'm ready to take this accountability, I'm ready to take this job and I'll do achieve this.
Right.
How? You show me the direction how to go about it, I'll figure it out.
Right.
That's the way to go for it, but no one is doing it.
Correct.
The thing about that, when I got trolled, a girl comes into our office and says, because someone had sent her that Twitter के यहाँ पे opening है, तो आई बोले सर ये आपने लिखा था ना, बोला हाँ, तो बोले सर मेरे को जॉब चाहिए. She is working with us now.
That's so nice.
So it's just you need to show that you are ready to take the responsibility.
Yeah.
We don't measure कि आप fail होंगे या वो होंगे. It's never the way around. So this thing in this, ये I have seen this. मेरे मतलब dad के बहुत सारे trader friends and business friends who used to be in the office, no. So one of this friends, well, I was just having a conversation with all of them. बैठते तो समझ में आता है क्या thought process है. How are they doing these businesses? And there is this mentality. किसी बंदे को ये मत बोलो कि मैं इतना पगार दूंगा. Let him decide what he is value for. So we never ask someone. We are going.
आप मेरे लिए कितना धंधा बनाओगे उसके अगेंस्ट?
Show me the intent. You are the only one who has to value yourself. You are the only one. If you are not growing, the company is not growing. It's as simple as that. So we work on the other way around. We don't work it that way.
You've been in Bombay. Family has done business in Bombay. You have extended family जो अभी Bombay में धंधा कर रहा है. You are now doing business in Ahmedabad. Your dad has been doing business here since 1980s.
बॉम्बे की हवा में धंधा है, गुजरात के पानी में धंधा है. फर्क ये है. जिसको वो हवा पसंद है वो वहाँ पे पैसे बना रहा है या फिर धंधा बना रहा है. जिसको ये पानी पसंद. And then there are people like us who have figured and seen both the ways and trying to make the best out of both. But
I still think, see how other cities have attracted talent and जो startup ecosystem वहाँ पे बना है, it has unlocked a lot of jobs, unlocked wealth creation opportunities for a lot of people. मेरा ये मानना है कि अहमदाबाद में although ये धंधा mindset है, पानी में धंधा.
You are right, it has not happened, but now it's changing. See the gift city that has come in. See the exposure that is coming in, the companies that are coming in. And I think it's a very cyclical thing. Every state or probably every of these opportunities also has a cycle. See, Mumbai is called the finance. I have to just frame it up. See, post-COVID, how the world has become very much nearer. No, we Zoom call और उस पे खत्म हो जाता है. This is one of my observations since last 3-4 years. People don't want to meet another people anymore. आप phone करो तो is like WhatsApp कर दो. Phone मत करो, WhatsApp कर दो या फिर Google Meet कर लो, whatever it may be. People are not meeting anyone anymore. So the people are just come far more closer and they are far more apart. But the opportunities are still there. So those who understand the value of opportunities are going to milk it.
Yeah.
Mumbai understood it long back. Now Gujarat's time is coming in, so people are unlocking here, the startups are coming.
Interesting. So, like now towards the last leg of this podcast, if you think अगर किसी को एक्चुअल धंधा बनाना है, नॉट बिकॉज वो मेरे को धंधा करना है, क्या स्किल्स चाहिए? व्हाट डू एक तो मेरे को पता है जिगरा चाहिए आपको, यू नीड दैट रिस्क टेकिंग एबिलिटी.
ग्राउंड रियलिटी, बस कस्टमर से जाके बात करो, उसकी दुकान में या उसके शॉप में जाके मिलो उससे, टाइम दे या ना दे. सी नो वन इज बिजी टू से नो व्हेन यू आर एट देयर डोर. मैं आपके दरवाजे पे आ गया तो आप मेरे को या तो पूछ लोगे या तो बोलोगे कल आओगे. दरवाज़ा तो खोलोगे ना. बट अगर ईमेल पे या व्हाट्सएप पे या अजम्पशन में ही रहेंगे या फिर वो रहेंगे तो दरवाजे नहीं खुलने वाले. सो ग्राउंड रियलिटी बहुत मिसिंग है. आप ग्राउंड पे देखो क्या हो रहा है तो पता चलेगा. देयर इज अ डिफरेंट लेवल ऑफ अपॉर्चुनिटीज आउट देयर. नॉट एवरीथिंग कैन बी सॉल्व्ड.
Interesting. So I quickly want to know your views on money now. Mistakes you've made.
See, I never had money. We had money when we were doing trading. Then we invested everything in it. Since then, we have not seen money. So I have not made mistakes. I am yet to earn money. Let me earn some and then I will say what mistakes I have made. But yeah, यार मतलब देखो गुजरात कोई भी आप व्यापारी से पूछ लो, एंड ऑफ द डे अगर पैसा नहीं बनाया तो क्या फायदा. सी इट्स अ रियलिटी भाई, सब पैसे के लिए कर रहे हैं. कोई वो मतलब यू विल सी पीपल वो आर आउट सेइंग कि यार नहीं मैं अपनी अंतरात्मा के लिए कर रहा हूँ, या आई वांट दैट फीलिंग और आई एम हैविंग फन एंड एवरीथिंग. दैट्स ऑल असाइड. सब पैसा है भाई. अगर पैसा आ रहा है तो आ रहा है, फिर वो खुशी भी आ जाती है, सब आ जाता है. हार्डवर्क इज इम्पॉर्टेंट, बट you need to set your clarities and you need to set your priorities. Perspective is very. वो 3 Idiots वाला मस्त है जो आमिर खान सर बोल रहे हैं ना कि बस skills chase करो, सक्सेस आ जाएगी. So this is what we are also doing यार. We are also trying to find the right opportunities from the problems that are existing. We are not chasing money, we are not chasing numbers.
Interesting. So that brings me to the end of this podcast. I think मैंने बहुत कुछ सीखा. This was completely new to me, this industry, and all the best for your journey.
Thank
Very
you.
happy to see how far you've come and how far you have to go. All the best.
Thank you.
Thank you so much
having
for
me.
giving me your time today on a very rainy day.
No, comes. Thank you for having me. It was an interesting conversation we had.